Hello, bookworms and critical thinkers. Welcome back to the Page Turners podcast. I'm Alex, and with me is my thoughtful co-host, Ben.
And I'm Ben. Today, we are looking at the absolute climax of Ivan's secret plan. We're covering the chapters 12 through Angry. These are short chapters, but wow, are they packed with emotion.
Absolutely. Today, we aren't just summarizing. We're diving into two very deep discussion questions to help you prep your arguments for class. We're looking at the communication gap and the purpose of anger. The communication gap. Let's start with the communication gap. In the chapter Showing Julia, Ivan finally reveals his puzzle, his paintings of H-O-M-E. He's nervous, shaking even. He needs her to understand, but she doesn't. She looks at this desperate message and says, "It's pretty." And then George looks at the pile of work and calls them blobs. It is heartbreaking. So the question for you to brainstorm is, why is it so difficult for the humans to understand what Ivan is trying to say?
When you're building your argument, don't just say the painting was messy. Look deeper. Think about expectation. Julia expects Ivan to be a gorilla who draws simple things like bananas or beetles. Does she even expect him to have a complex thought like home?
Exactly. What does this failure to understand tell us about how humans view animals in this book? Do they see them as equals with thoughts and feelings? Or do they see them as something else?
Consider the lens George and Julia are looking through. If you see a gorilla as just an animal in a cage, are you capable of seeing his art as a cry for help? Or do you just see blobs because that's all you think a gorilla can make?
That's a great angle. Is the gap in the art, or is the gap in the viewer?
Now, let's move to our second topic, the purpose of anger. Throughout the entire book, Ivan has been the gentle giant. He's been calm, philosophical, and quiet.
But in the chapter, Angry, that changes. He unleashes a silverback roar. He beats his chest. He scares George and Julia. The question is this anger a bad thing or a good thing?
We are usually taught that anger is negative, right? That it's a loss of control. But look closely at the text. Ivan says, "I'm angry at last. I have someone to protect."
That line changes everything. When you're brainstorming, ask yourself, what is the function of this anger? Is he throwing a tantrum, or is he using anger as a tool?
Think about the difference between destructive anger and protective anger. Ivan realizes that being nice and quiet wasn't getting the message across. The art wasn't enough.
So does having someone to protect, Ruby, transform his anger from something scary into something noble? If he wasn't angry, would he be able to save her?
That is the key question. Is it possible that anger is actually a necessary part of love and protection?
We hope these thoughts help you prepare your own powerful arguments. Dig into the text, find your evidence, and we'll see you in class.
Happy reading, everyone.